Unfolding Africa, a book by Alnasir Rajan. At 19, Jivraj Pradhan was very excited to go to Africa and begin a new life. He gets on his horse and carriage with his wife Maniben Nagji Mitha and his 3 children Sikina, Shabanu, and Habib. His parents and other family members follow in a separate horse and carriage as they head to the port of Mumbai. After months of a rough voyage, the ship docks at Mombasa, Kenya. Jivraj meets his host, Nazarali Juma. While eager and excited, Jivraj meets with Alidina Visram at the first time at Kuz Jamakhana. The Jamakhana was like a castle built by Aga Khan in a colonial era surrounded by small alleys full of households. Alidina Visram was known as a king of Ivory and later the uncrowned king of Uganda in those days because of his power, prestige, and wealth. Alidina Visram was a permanent host for all migration of Ismailis. The British were building a railway from Mombasa to Uganda and had coolies, which were skilled Indian workers, to help build the railway tracks. Maniben Nagji Mitha joins her husband in Africa, while Jivraj is posted at Voi at this time. Voi is notorious for the man-eating linings of Tsavo, where workers keep disappearing at the sites. Jivraj and his colleagues were working under extreme fear, but they had better and stronger structures which lions could not break easily. Lieutenant Colonel Patterson arrives with a team of 60 skilled Indian railway workers to build a bridge so they can continue building the railway tracks. He encounters the 2 man-eating lions and manages to kill both of the mountering lions and bring the construction back on track. Jivraj remains employed by Alidina Visram as he sets up his own shops along the railway route. Maniben and Jivraj settle down in Kyotera, Uganda, a small town that was a link to trading with Tanganyika and other Western African countries of Rwanda, Burundi, and the Congo. Alidina Visram visits him twice on his journey to the Congo to manage his trading empire. Meanwhile, the First World War began in 1914, and business in general was going into depression. Alidina made his final trip to the Congo in 1916 in the midst of the World War to secure his holdings. But on his return to Kampala from the Congo, Alidina fell ill and passed away on June 30th of 1916. His funeral was attended by the governor of Uganda and the Kabaka and most dignitaries in and around Uganda. The Ismaili community owed much of their existence in Africa to Alidina Visram. For them, this was more of a personal loss. Jivraj continued to trade for many years until going blind and ultimately passing away. After passing, his son Pirali Jivraj Pradhan and his wife Daulat took over his business. Fast forward many years later, and Pirali and Daulat divorce. They have 4 children, and Pirali dies of a massive bee sting while traveling. Daulat passes away in a car crash 1 year later. The 4 children return to Maniben, as no one else was prepared to take them in. Maniben calls all her daughters and her son Habib to seek options to have Pirali's children adopted within the family. However, due to family constraints, nobody was able to adopt the children. Shireen Kanu and Abdul Karim Rajan decide to adopt all the remaining 3 children and take them to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Before Shireen Kanu leaves Uganda, the country is put under martial law, and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, Idi Amin, overthrows the government. During the same period, Shireen Kanu's son Sal decides to travel to Uganda with a couple of friends to go see her cousin, Sadru Jawini, in Mobile, Uganda, who was paralyzed after a car accident. They travel through the already developed towns in Tanzania, visiting grand Jamakhans built by the Aga Khan for his followers. They experience the gems, trading in the mining town of Singida. On the road while traveling through a wild area, they encounter an angry elephant who attacks a European car. In the north, they witness why Tanzania's albinos are killed, and the powder from their bones are used for good luck in business. Sal and his friends pass by Bukoba, where they stay with his grandfather's brother, Jivraj Pradhan, before continuing their journey to Kyotera, Uganda. Sal and his friends enter Uganda, which is now under martial law. In Kyotera, they meet Sal's grandmother, Maniben, and stay for a day before heading to Masaka, Uganda, where they stay with Sheribanu Normalamadiwa, Shireen Kanu's elder sister. Sal's friend Mac has to leave for his sister's wedding urgently, back to Dar es Salaam. Sal and his friend Prince continue their travel, but before they leave Masaka, they get in trouble with the law. They are both imprisoned in the torture cells of Makindye and Luzira, where most prisoners never come out alive. Sal and his friend somehow survive the prison, as people are hammered to death on a daily basis. 2 months later, on March 8, 1972, Sal and Prince are released and were escorted to Masaka to Sheribanu Jiwa's house. Prince plans to elope with a girl he met. Sal arrives in Dar es Salaam, only to realize that Nani Freni, who is Jivraj Pradhan's eldest daughter, had committed suicide. Idi Amin was on a rampage. Ugandans were being murdered everywhere by soldiers. On August 4, 1972, over 80,000 Asians, whether citizens or not, were asked to leave Uganda within 90 days. In 1979, Tanzania overthrew Idi Amin and restored Milton Obote to his presidency in Uganda. Idi Amin escaped to the Congo, then Libya, and eventually settled in Saudi Arabia until his death on August 16, 2003. Milton Obote passed away 2 years later on October 10, 2005. Maniben Jivraj Pradhan passed away on April 22, 1975, in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, where she lived with Kahursa Masi, also known as Kulsum Makane. In 2018, Shireen Abdul Karim Rajan is the only surviving child of Jivraj and Maniben Pradhan. Nasir, or Alnasir Rajan, has lived in Mississauga, Canada since 1995. He and his wife Narima have 2 sons, Wahib and Farahaz, and a daughter, Wafa. Jivraj Pradhan and Maniben have grandchildren and great-grandchildren in Europe, Africa, and North America. Alnasir Rajan has another book published called Invisible Birthmarks, on sale now online.